Hello, ladies. Pastor Frankie Legette III here again, and I'm delighted to be back with you tonight for 90 days to find your soulmate, even if you are 30 plus. So, this week our focus is on red flags and green flags. Today is day 44. I've done a post 44 straight days. Awesome. Addressing single women's issues. And also some of it has also applied to married women as well, but it's predominantly for single women. Today is Wisdom Wednesday. Wisdom Wednesday. And I try to share some wisdom with you every single Wednesday. So today will not be the exception to that rule. So now let's talk about red flags. The red flag is if your man has wandering eyes. He's got wandering eyes, and you know exactly what I mean by wandering eyes, the way he looks at other women. All right? Wandering eyes. Ladies, that is not cool. And some men are so disrespectful and blatant with it that they don't even care if their wives or girlfriends are present. They stare, they look the other woman up and down, they actually undress her with their eyes. All right? They undress her with their eyes. So what does that look like? You're right there with him, and he's eyeballing another woman. That is absolutely a red flag if ever there was one. That is off limits. That is disrespectful, to say the least. No ifs, no ands, no buts. So it goes without saying that that is a problem that a lot of women are dealing with. And the question becomes, is it fixable? And the answer is, of course it is. Of course it is. So, since I specialize in helping single women attract, draw, and quite often the women who come through my program in my course, my 12-week master course, end up attracting and marrying the greatest guys ever. So the question becomes, what would I counsel one of my students to do if she was dating a guy that was guilty of such disrespectful behavior? And here's what I want to say to you. It really is quite easy when you know what to do. So I just mentioned I have a 12-week masterclass for women. It's entitled The Women's Empowerment HQ. And every woman that attends that masterclass is taught a technique that squashes behavior of that kind before it gets started. Let me explain a little of what I teach. I teach a technique that eliminates dumb behavior on the part of their men by having them do one simple thing. I have them establish their boundaries shortly after meeting a guy and as they are about to potentially go on this journey and start this relationship with this guy. At the very outset of that relationship, I have them establish their clearly defined boundaries, and I have them do it at the very beginning of the relationship. So let's say, here's a hypothetical. One of my students, she's going through the 12-week masterclass, and she's identified this as a boundaries that she wants to establish the next time she's in a relationship. So what would I teach her? I would teach her that when the guy approaches her and is interested in her, wants a number, wants to take her out, wants to spend time with her, early in that relationship, like first week, certainly by the second week, you are going to express to him clearly and articulately that there are certain things you expect him to do, and there are certain things that you expect him not to do if he wants to be your man. All right? And so, ladies, let me tell you right now, just get rid of the fear. Because fearful women end up unhappy. Because you're afraid to say to a man what you need to say to him to change his behavior that needs correcting. All right. So you're going to express and you're going to articulate what your boundaries are. Here's what I expect you to do. Here's what I'm expecting you not to do if you're going to spend time with me. All right. And you would simply say, look, you will not be disrespecting me by eyeballing another woman, especially in my presence. Okay? Because if you're going to do that, then this relationship is going to be over. All right? That is not something that I tolerate. I'm not going to do it to you. You will not do that to me. You got to put that on the table at the very beginning. And you cannot be afraid to say it. So, at the very outset of that relationship, you must establish what your boundary is in this area. Now, if you are currently in a relationship, you can still do it, but just be prepared for a little pushback because it will be new to him and he's going to throw in your face, well, hey, you should have said that to me 6 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Where's this coming from? Don't even worry about it. Stick to your guns. Don't even worry about it. This is what I know. I see this is what you do. I don't like it. And if this relationship is going to continue, you are going to stop it or there won't be a relationship. And you got to be that matter of fact. And now, don't be mean. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be nasty. But you got to hold your ground. And guess what? Men really are attracted to women who are not pushovers and who hold their ground. It draws them like a magnet. But many of you don't know that because many of you function as pushovers. So let me say this to you, because this is what I teach my own daughters, and I got 3 of them. When a man is smitten by you, he will climb any mountain, he'll swim any ocean, he'll jump any hurdle, he'll overcome any obstacle to be the man on your arms. And the more he cares about you, the more sacrifices he'll make to be with you. So stop being afraid of saying what you need to say to correct behavior in him that needs to be corrected. Stop being afraid. In fact, I would have you to know that men love women who know what they want in a relationship. It's a turn on. It's an aphrodisiac for a man. So establish your boundaries and hold him to it and mean it when you say it. If you're not gonna follow through with it, then don't. If you're not gonna mean it, then don't say it. If you say it, you gotta mean it. You gotta hold him to it. Finally, let's identify a green flag, which is a good thing. All right? Let's identify a green flag. So here's a green flag. It's a man that honors your boundaries. He honors your boundaries. Amen? It is a man that actually honors your boundaries. Now, that's the kind of man you want the Lord to send your way. And so, ladies, as I conclude, if you'd like to know more about my 12-week masterclass, send me an email with the word boundary in the subject line, and I will be more than happy to send you some information. Getting what you want and need in a man is so much easier than many of you think. It's just that nobody has taught you how to do it. And nobody teaches it better than I do. Because, look, I've been a guy for a lot of years. I know the game. I know the tricks of the trade. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. So who better to teach you about how a man functions, how we think, how we behave, why we do what we do, why we don't do what we don't do? Who better to teach you that than another man? That's why my ministry is so effective for everybody who comes through my course, either my free webinar or my 12-week course. So if you're interested in that 12-week masterclass, just send me an email with boundary in the subject line, and I'll be more than happy to send you some information about that. It will change your life. Now, I'm also willing to do a 30-minute free consultation with you. If you have some questions about how to do this, and you want, you're just curious, you want some more help, you might be in the situation, 30-minute consultation. All right? Send me the email, boundary in the subject line, and then I will send you a Calendly link, calendly.com link, and then we'll get together and we'll have a dialogue. I'm more than willing to help you. And I also want you to know that every Thursday, 6:00 p.m., every Thursday in the month of September, I'm offering a free webinar. And in this free webinar, I teach women, the women in this class, they're going to be on tomorrow. I teach women how to determine if a man they're interested in or a man that they are currently seeing is Mr. Right or Mr. Wrong. And trust me, you need to know that information. Every one of you that's in a relationship, because you can't afford to get this wrong. It is so painful when you do. I want to save you from that heartache, from that pain and that misery. And I want to help you to hit a home run and live happily ever after till Jesus comes. Amen. That's what I do. Nobody does it better. So join me every Thursday. So let me do this. Let me put up the email address if you're interested. And I forgot to do that. Here's the email address: the Women's Empowerment HQ at Gmail. All right. So if you want information about the 12-week masterclass, send me an email, put boundary in the subject line. If you would like a 30-minute free consultation, you have some questions on how to do some of this stuff that I teach every day, then email the Women's Empowerment HQ at gmail.com and you can just put boundaries in the subject line, and I will know what that means, and then I will schedule something with you. We'll come together and talk. Now, if you are interested in joining us on Thursday for the free webinar, then I need you to go here. Go to this website, register, and it will send, I will be notified. And when I am, I will forward the link, the Zoom link to you. And then you can join me. And I'm going to teach you a technique, the real man technique. And you will be able to distinguish Mr. Right from Mr. Wrong in less than 30 days. It will change your life. And trust me, you want to have this information because you're vulnerable if you don't have it. And it exponentially increases the possibility that you can make a wrong choice. You don't want to make a wrong choice. Take advantage of the free course. It's free. There's nothing cheaper than free. Hope to see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Until then, be blessed. I'll see you tomorrow.